Greetings, football lovers. Heal up, our heal up football lovers. Welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast. I am one of your hosts, along with the Ball Chat family. Junior, come on. How are you doing, boss?
Well, I'm good enough. I'm hoping Cameroon can come up. Boy, what it's like a lot of obia. We have a lot of obia going on, but we are here. We're here, people. What's good?
I'm doing well. We just letting back come on in. Seems like she was having some audio issues, so she should be back online. Come on, Wagwan. How are you doing? Come on. And it doesn't seem like she's back. She's back.
We're not hearing you, Cameroon.
We're not hearing come on today on Ball Chat.
But it looks like she's hearing us. So come on, if you're hearing us, turn off your phone and turn it back on.
Okay.
Football family, we're having a bit of technical issues here as come on is our audio seems to be dropping in and out. Seems like come on now pay our Zoom bill. So Junior, how are things family as we try to fix or address the issue with come on? How are things?
I'm good enough. I'm good. I'm here. I'm happy. We're getting Champions League football again, and it's even though I don't know, is it a weird? Does the year still feel weird to you, where football is concerned, or feel like it's coming back to normal?
Yeah, if it still feels a bit weird where football is concerned. I think Champions League matches being back, and with some of the big matches that we had this week, and some of the matches that are coming down. Are on the schedule for this coming week. There's a bit of normalcy that's returning for me regarding football. So, Champions League and the local beverage water Europa League has been whetting my appetite very well. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. But I know we're going to talk in depth about the Champions League, but I have a weird take on the Champions League that I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. But it's you guys, we'll see.
Yeah. So football lovers, we're having a bit of technical difficulties. Come on, Mike, or come on's audio seems to be chipping in and out, so she's restarting the program, and hopefully she will be able to join us. And once she joins in, then we'll have her lively and always very emotional input on the show. So we'll get it sorted out. Football Lovers Ball Chat Podcast is all about reviewing the week's major news in the world of soccer, aka football. We start off the show this week with our Ballas and Bugs. Last week we did the Jamaican football show where we discussed only Jamaican football. This week is back to world football news. We're going to discuss the Ballas and Bugs. We're going to discuss Juve getting rid of Mauricio Sarri, and Andrea Pirlo is now the man at the helm. We'll preview Champions League football coming on this week. And we'll also discuss Yawd Ballas as Junior Flemings continue to run hot in the USL as he continues to score goals left, right, and center. But the Cameroon needs to let in like Junior. Come on, we interrupt the show. Come on, how are you? She's doing.
Come on, it's about.
Can you hear me?
That is a lot better. Come on. Jeez, can we hear you?
I don't know what's going on.
Come on, how are you?
Lord, you gone again.
Football, come on, we're going to figure out something. I'll be at work on, come on. Football Lovers Ball Chat is an interactive show where we foster, promote discussion between listeners and the guests and the listeners and the co-hosts. So chime in with your questions or comments. Where if you're watching us on Ball Chat Facebook page or Ball Chat YouTube page or Flow Sports YouTube page, you can chime in with the discussion. So Junior, without further ado, has come on try to figure out what's going on the technical end in her back on her end regarding that audio, and hopefully we'll get it fixed soon. Junior, who do you have as your ball of the week watching football, boss?
It cannot be anybody but Junior Fleming, my namesake. I feel so proud that the juniors are now stepping up. Have to give it to Junior Fleming, number one. Scored a hat trick this weekend, and he continues to be on a scoring tier. He's one of those players that the pandemic seemed to has enhanced his skills, because you see a lot of players in the professional leagues, they took the downtime to get their bodies right, get their minds right. You see a lot of NBA players come back extremely fit. Big up Junior Fleming, because he's scoring he's on a tier. And I also have to give it to Memphis Depay. He took down, he was on the team that took down the big bad old lady, Juve. The coach killer himself, Memphis Depay, I got to give it to him as well.
Junior Fleming, baller. We'll talk about Junior Fleming in our Yawd Ballas segment. Junior, the namesake of our engineer, Junior is giving his ball of the week to Junior Fleming, who continues to score goals left, right, and center. And it's only a matter of time before I think Junior Fleming moves on to a bigger lead. Go on, run hot. Junior Fleming's racking up goals as left, right, and center for his team. And Memphis Depay of Lyon, formerly of Manchester United, and Memphis Depay and Lyon took care of the old lady Juventus, as Juventus is now out of the Champions League, courtesy of Memphis Depay and the team there. And interestingly, Junior, Memphis Depay says that it wasn't anyone's fault why he didn't perform at Manchester United. It was only his. Your thoughts on that quickly?
That's an obvious statement. Dude. No, he was. I think he was too young, and it's too much pressure being put on him, because being a winger at Manchester United it comes with a lot of responsibility. We see Angel Di Maria struggled under the same capacity. Plus, he was under LVG, and his form of football, it was just bad timing. And to me, Depay needed the Manchester United experience to become the player that he is. So there's no hard feelings from me. I'm big up to Jeremy watching right now, saying that is that league challenging though? I think he's talking about the French league. But he took down the old lady. He took down Juventus. Took down Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, it's a team effort, but Depay was instrumental. So I have to give him, just give him props, man.
Yeah, I have to give him his props. My ball of the week has to do with the MLS. Have to big up Diego Chara of Portland Timbers in the MLS. Diego Chara is like the N'Golo Kante's version of the MLS. Junior Diego Chara and Portland Timbers are into the MLS's back tournament final. Diego Chara and Sebastian Blanco was instrumental. And the important thing that I noted that is impressive with Diego Chara, 34 years old. Junior, you see how the man just work back and forth in that midfield for Portland Timberlands as our Portland Timbers as they move on to the MLS's back tournament. So Diego Chara and Sebastian Blanco. Sebastian Blanco scored somewhere in the vicinity of 3 or 4 goals in this MLS's back tournament, along with quite a few assists also as they run into that final against Philly. And I have to give a ball of mention to Andre Blake, Jamaica's own Andre Blake. Andre Blake, though they did not make it to the to the MLS's back tournament, they lost to Portland Timbers. Andre Blake leads the MLS's back tournament with saves and actually shutout, and he was quite impressive, even though Philly lost in that game. So those are my ballers of the week. Jeremy was talking about the USL and regarding the Junior Flemings. Junior.
Well, come on.
Can you hear me?
Are you talking? Why? Come on, is talking, waving her hands like she's a Air Force airport guy. But I wonder, are you not mute? She's not muted though, right?
No, she's not. She's not muted.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeremy, and the thing with USL is I have to choose my words wisely. It's not a competitive league, right? But scoring a goal, as you know, of our people should know, Scoring a goal, it doesn't matter what league you're playing in, what competition you're playing against. Putting the ball between the two metal posts and doing it consistently takes some skill. It takes some delivery. It takes some execution, regardless of who you're going to be playing against Sisters of the Poor. Because we see Lukaku playing and can't put the ball between two metal posts, regardless of who he's playing against. And it's not a knock against Lukaku, but some people have an eye for it. And it looks like Junior Fleming does. Now, when he goes up against stronger competition, better competition, we will see. But at least he's showing that he has the scoring touch. I don't know. I'm curious to know what you think about that. So if you're watching right now on Jeremy, let me know what you think about that. And he also said that Depay has changed his game a lot. I agree. I really agree. Memphis has definitely changed his game. I think Memphis went to Manchester United, think that he could replicate Cristiano Ronaldo as a young player. And I honestly think that was a part of his psychic. That number 7 shirt.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. What?
Nothing. I hope I'm not cut off.
No, you're good now.
Finally, come on. Come on, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, Lord of mercy. She gone again.
Oh, she gone again. You know what? Just call in every time we need to talk to you. Come on. All right. Football family, we're having some issues with Come On and joining us today on the show. She seems to be dropping in and out.
Let me give her the calling number.
Yeah, she's just probably calling on the phone, and then we'll get to that. All right. So we're in our Ballers and Bug segment. Football family, bear with us as we try to see if we can get our co-host on the show. Let's try to get through some of the comments. OJ 2002, big up yourself, watching on Flow Sports. OJ 2002 said, "What up? Big up yourself, family." BM says, "Still trying to figure out why Junior Fleming is in the USL. He should be somewhere in Europe." Jamaican girl says, "Agent." And Jamaican girl went on to says, "An agent can make or break you." BM also says he should be trying to link up with Damani Ralph if possible. At Jamaican girl. Jamaican girl says he was his agent. He needs another agent. So there's a discussion going on Flow Sports about Junior Flemings between Jamaican girl and BM, but the essential idea is that Junior Flemings is doing exceptionally well, and it should be only a matter of time before he joins, move on to greener pastures. Go on, eat your food, Junior Flemings. We're very proud of your work. Junior Flemings was the Junior's Ball of the Week for scoring before we
move on, let's ask the people of Flow Sports, because Jermaine brought up a point saying that is the league challenging Zoe? And Reggie, big up yourself as well. Reggie said his Ball of the Week is Memphis Depay, and honorable mention to Aubameyang for getting Arsenal into European football next year. Very big up Reggie. But everybody that's listening right now on Flow Sports and also on Facebook, if you're also watching on Twitch, let us know. Do you think the USL is challenging enough where for me to come out and say Junior Fleming is my baller of the week? We're talking about Champions League. We're talking about Mexican League, I think, started back up, I think. All of these competitions played, and for me, Junior Fleming has been the most impressive baller this week. Do you think that is a good statement to say, comparing the competition? Do you think USL is challenging enough? And are you comfortable with a Jamaican striking in USL and being so well? So let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said, Junior. It doesn't matter where you play. If you can only convert the chances in front of you. I've been impressed with Junior, and I mean, we'll only know how well he's going to do until he move on to greener pastures. I mean, he has to master that league that he's in, and he's doing quite well there now. So ultimately, we'll see what happens as he move on to bigger leagues. But I think what is abundantly clear is that his talent is there. He's converting his chances at a very good rate. So that's impressive. All right, let's.
So BM, real quick, BM has said that USL is a bush league, so Fleming can't be the baller of the week. That's what BM is saying. And I see a conversation going on about agents and Mr. Damani Ralph. We're going to have Damani on, hopefully, right, Benton? Hopefully in the near future, we're going to have Mr. Damani Ralph on, and we are going to have those conversations. So, people on Flow Sports, we are seeing that conversation. And if you missed the Jamaica Football Summit last week, we're going to have a re-air of it coming up in a couple of weeks. But we have another summit coming up that is dedicated to Jamaican football, and we are hoping to have Mr. Damani Ralph on. Right, Benton?
Yeah. I mean, we're not making any promise, but you try your best. All right, let's step away from Ballers of the Week and keep your Ballers and Bugs coming. We're having a bit of technical difficulties. We come on, maybe we should try.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, come on, just give us your Ballers and Bugs. How you doing? Come on before you drop out again.
No, it's like the video. So we're calling on before. Can you see me? You can't see me.
No, we cannot see you, but we can hear you. We'll just put up a photo of you. Come on, we see your lovely face every week. Come on, how you doing?
I am good. So my baller of the week has to be Messi. Messi was fantastic in the Champions League versus Napoli, I think it was.
Yes.
I feel they robbed him that goal, the perfect hit of the ball. They robbed him that one. So he's my baller of the week. And of course, Chelsea and Lampard they have to be my bug.
Wait, we're not at bug yet. Come on, we're at Ballers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me get carried away.
What?
So Messi is mine. So I heard you guys talking about Junior Fleming.
Yes.
So I understand everybody's complaining that USL is bush league. Yeah, but so is the league that Brian Brown plays in Albania. Nobody is looking out on that. I think the Jamaican players have to use or have to go to the league that will take them. We realize that the MLS is no longer an option for us, even though, we might have one or two players who we think would be MLS quality and level. They're not getting the looks, so they have to go overseas. So Junior is a very good player for USL, and I hope that he moves on from USL and don't be a Dane Kelly who is a USLer for life. So, maybe we can't say he's our baller of the week because there are other players out there like Messi and whatever, but we have to give Junior Fleming his props. If he was not scoring in the Bush League now, then we would talk. But he had a hat trick last night. He had 7 goals in 7 games. Don't matter what league you want to talk about, you can't overlook that.
Yeah, all right. So Junior's baller of the week is Junior Fleming, and Camon is definitely showing evidence for support of why he's ball of the week. Some I think listeners said that Junior Fleming cannot be ball of the week because he plays in a bush league, but like Camon said, he has scored 7 goals in 7 games, and he's productive in the league he is. So to that end, he's the ball of the week. We just want to let you know that Camon is joining us only audio today. I guess she never pay our video phone bill, so it's just audio alone. She's joining us today, and so we'll work through it because we had some technical difficulties. All right, moving away from ballers of the week, and come on, baller of the week was Lionel Messi, surgical in that second goal. What a boy if he score a wicked goal. Impressive as Barcelona moves on to the Champions League Elite or Final 8 tournament in Lisbon, and we'll talk about it in a second. All right, bugs of the week. Come on, let's get to your bug of the week watching football.
Messi, Chelsea and Frank Lampard. I posted a meme where 2 security guards was dragging this man, and it says the UEFA dragging Chelsea to go play against Bayern Munich, and that's exactly how I felt. And I wish that Chelsea they save the money, donate them airfare to charity, and just never go, because it was embarrassing. We looked like we did not belong, and I expected a whooping. But come on now. We never expect that, big of a whooping.
Chelsea's come on bug of the week. Come on, quote. We look like we didn't belong. Is come on statement. You didn't belong. Come on. This was big champion football. Chelsea's not ready as Bayern Munich beat the brakes off them 7-1 on aggregate. And as Bayern Munich moves on, Chelsea will have better days. The only curious thing is that N'Golo Kante was captain for the day. Why was that? Come on. Why N'Golo got the captaincy for that beating? Is that an embarrassment for N'Golo?
I don't know what Lampard is doing. I mean, maybe he was trying to give Conte some confidence boost, but I would have said to Lampard, you know what, keep your armband and just relax yourself, because it was just messy. And anybody who had worn the captain's armband yesterday, we still would have gotten the whooping. And everybody was celebrating when Tommy scored that one goal. I was like, we're not celebrating for what? So we should not have gone. We should have stayed where we are.
Yeah, it was better days. A big up El Pistolero watching us on Ball Chat Facebook page. El Pistolero says, bug, Zidane should have fielded a better team. Plus Varane also got bug of the week from El Pistolero. We'll talk about in a second as we review some of the Champions League major news. Junior, who you have as your bug of the week watching football, boss?
Before I talk about Chelsea, I'm bigging up Flow Sports. I see a conversation going on, and we are going to talk about that conversation. What time today? I'm letting Zabir know, everybody know, BM know. We're going to talk about that. I soon go through the comments, but I'm seeing the comments, and we're going to talk about it real soon. But like I said, what you said, bug of the week?
Yes, bug of the week. Who you have as your bug of the week?
Well, I'm going to talk about Chelsea. But I'm going to talk about the history of Chelsea right now. Courtois, what a man fool. Come on, call it from last year that Courtois going to sell out the man them side. I don't know. I cannot blame Varane. I cannot blame him for that Real Madrid debacle. El Pistolero, I cannot blame Zidane. I have to blame Courtois. Courtois is the biggest idiot I've ever seen in my life. Like, dude, kick the ball out. It's that simple. Just kick out the ball. And then you would, as a coach, I would say, idiot, kick out the ball next time. And then 5 minutes later, him kick the ball straight to, I think it was Sterling. So as a coach, you have to wonder now, what is it that you're going to tell Courtois to do when he has the ball at his feet? He was not focused. He didn't come to play football yesterday, right? Hazard was a shell of himself, in my opinion.
Was he even on the pitch?
That's the problem. He was hazardous. He was so hazardous that they practiced social distancing from him because it seemed like he was carrying something. And I'm not going to give it to Sarri, but it is a Chelsea affiliate. So how the hell you win the league in Italy and get fired for an unproven coach? A legend, yes. But Juventus, how do you fire Maurizio Sarri after winning the league? Everybody that has sense in football can look at Juventus and say they are old and they are slow. You put on Dybala and Dybala for come off in like 10 minutes. How can you blame Sarri for that? I mean, Juventus, why? I don't understand the logic behind firing Sarri right now. And them I'm about to. Chelsea.
And we'll get to that soon in our major news of the week. So I guess Junior's bugs, he's linking these our former Chelsea players, the history of Chelsea as the bug of the week. In connection with giving Chelsea the bug of the week, he's given his bug to Thibaut Courtois for a very bad display. He's also given his bug to Hazard. Eden Hazard was missing. And he's given his bug to Maurizio Sarri. And so is that correct, Junior? You're giving Maurizio Sarri a bug?
No, but because he's affiliated with Chelsea, he must take a beating too. Because I feel like if he never coached at Chelsea, he would have never been fired.
So it's an affiliation with Chelsea. is the bug of the week for Judah. Anything that's linked with Chelsea is the bug of the week. Big up Reggie. Reggie says the bug of the week is Arsenal's ownership for sacking 55 air quotes redundant position during this pandemic when they have more than enough to pay those salaries for a year. Disgusting. Other bug, Camon's Mike is the bug of the week for Reggie also, because Camon's Mike was very low at the initial, but we figure it out. You see what I said? Them say live show is like putting out 1,000 fires at the same time. My bug of the week quickly, as we want to get to some major news discussion. My bug quickly is Real Madrid. That midfield, that back line, they're lost without Sergio Ramos leading them. It seems like. I mean, yes, we could blame Zidane for making poor tactical decisions. I thought probably Vinicius should have started and Federico Valverde in that midfield should have also started. But Real Madrid was pressed and was quite vulnerable under the press. How Luka Modric, once FIFA Player of the Year or UEFA Player of the Year, looks so bad under some soft soap pressure from Man City was quite alarming to me. So Real Madrid is the bug of the week for me. All right, stepping away from ballers and bugs, let's get to the meat of the matter.
Big up El Pistolero. He said the same thing, that he said, but Junior, you have Valverde and Vinicius on the bench who are in Mitch's form, better form than Modric, and they're in better form than Modric and Hazard. Yes, that's true, but I honestly feel that Zidane was out-coached. I honestly, well, we talk about that later still. But
yeah.
Big up to source. Yeah, go ahead, come on.
Go ahead.
So we're not going to talk about that. They'll tell the man and say now play. That is in the next segment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's wrap up ballers and bugs. Some people in them might not work and them coming like them want to just dictate the thing. You see what I'm saying? All right, football segment. Let's hit the major news in the world of football. The big news. Junior alluded to this. Come on, Mauricio Sarri is out after 1 year at Juventus. He won 65% of the games. They're out after, out of the Champions League round of 16. Your thoughts? Andrea Pirlo is now in. Come on.
Listen, that was not Sarri's team. That was Cristiano Ronaldo's team. The look on Ronaldo's face at the end is like, how many years? Well, from 2011, I think he has not missed out on Champions League football, right? And now you're telling me that Sarri made the star baller miss out. He had to go. You could see the look on Ronaldo's face at the end of the game. I just think it was premature. Juventus, they're doing well in their league. So for them to lose, and I understand, Leon played some rotted ball. I don't know where this Memphis come from, because sometimes Memphis hot, sometimes Memphis cold, but he actually played well. So for them to fire Sarri and bring in this man who was not coached, and I don't understand why they always think that a good football player translates into a good coach. Hello, Lampard, John Terry, but let's not even touch that. But I just think it's not a good look. And for me, I don't know if Pirlo is going to be the best thing ever. He never even coached one game at the U23 level. At the fastest promotion this me ever see. I want to ask him how it works so I can use it and get something on my job.
All right. So, Junior, let's expand on this. And Football Family want you to chime in on this discussion. Mauricio Sarri is out. But Junior, is this really a surprise? The rumor of Mauricio Sarri, the fact that the rumor of his ultimate demise has been going on pretty much the entire year. The team does not play well or didn't play well for the most part of the year. It was a wrong coach, I think, for this team. Junior, I want to hear your thoughts.
I don't know, because if Juventus had performed like they could and turn the tide around and win, would we be having this discussion right now? No. And if Ronaldo performed magic and won the Champions League, we would not be having this.
Yeah, but we're having it now then.
But that's the whole point. No, the point is It's one game. You just won the league.
Yeah, but Juventus have won 9 leagues in a row. This is not a benchmark for them. Massimiliano Allegri won 5 league titles and still got fired as Juventus manager.
How many Champions League did Massimo Allegri win?
Huh?
How many Champions League titles did Massimo Allegri win?
With Juventus? None.
All right. How long was he coaching at Juventus?
Yeah, for 5 years. But
how long has Sarri been coaching at Juventus?
1 year.
Oh, there's something else must have happened. And you cannot say that you have Cristiano Ronaldo and that's the reason why you should have won the Champions League in the first year. Something else happened end of pandemic or start of pandemic till now. That is my opinion. Because it is too quick of a decision. Come on, as a Barcelona fan, I expected nothing less from Come on to try to draw parallels to Messi and how Messi runs Barcelona. I'm going to tell you this right now. That's not the case for Ronaldo and Sarri. I just think something has happened. Is the same thing is happening at Inter. Only thing is that Inter hasn't pulled the trigger on Conte as yet. We don't know if they are waiting.
So are you saying that Cristiano Ronaldo not pull at Juventus? I don't believe that. If you watch the game again and look at his body language, you know something was brewing, and it never even take them 5 hours after the match to fire this. Come on, Junior. Cristiano Ronaldo has something to do with it, because now they're talking about him wanting to leave and go to PSG. So, I mean, I believe that Ronaldo and Messi have a great pull when it comes to the club, who them bring in and who them release. You can't tell me that Sarri just win the league. Just win the league.
The GB Bank saying that JA girl how CR7 did his job. Sorry, don't know why I'm do. Jamaican girl said
but he won the league though. So hold a second. So when they won the league, him never know where I do.
Yeah, but you
we're not giving, you know what we're doing? We're disrespecting Leon. That's what we're doing. Leon had a game plan, and they stuck to their game plan, and them all Juventus to task.
Come on, just El Pistolero says this more accurately than me. He says no manager was hired at Juventus to win the league. You're hired for the Champions League. Juventus don't hire a manager for win. Look at idiot Serie A. I mean, that league is their bread. They want. I mean, they invested heavily in this team, and yes, Mauricio Sarri is probably shortchanged, and but ultimately the Champions League is their ultimate prize. I mean, and I think Leon definitely played it well and played an exceptional game, but I just think you didn't win the Champions League. You gotta go.
But my question now to everybody that's watching here right now is Juventus 1982 Brazil? Is
Juventus going to do what?
When they are stacked and they are expected to have won the Champions League this year. Because that is what ownership is saying. Ownership is basically telling the whole world that you, Mauricio Sarri, all you have to do is keep these players happy and just put any 11 out there and you are going to win the champion. You should win the Champions League. That's the expectation. And that's what I'm hearing right now.
But that's not feasible. And that makes no sense, because you're taking into consideration that your 11 will go out there and give 99%, but you're not remembering that the other teams, their 11 will going out there and give 100%. We have seen teams that are less superior than other teams, and them beat them flying. So I just think it was unfair for them to use Sarri as the scapegoat. And then, so now my question is this. You're bringing this man who now have no coaching experience to win Champions League just because he was a good player? When I get it, who's going to be his assistant? Buffon? All right, then, if he does not win Champions League Junior next year, what are you going to do? Fire Pirlo? What are you going to do?
But that is
Juventus is now going to be a Chelsea where you don't build, you don't plan, you just go and fire when the results don't come your way. I can't get behind something like that.
And all right, so let's segue to Andrea Pirlo and his hire. And yes, he does have a lot of experience. In fact, yes, he doesn't have any experience at this high level in terms of managing such big clubs. But is it fair to say that we've seen, air quotes, big clubs make a commitment to younger players, younger former players in the recent job decisions? You see Manchester United at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We see Arsenal with Mikel Arteta. We see Zidane at Real Madrid. Players who didn't really cut their teeth in other managerial position. And I think, is there a potential that they're hoping that Pirlo, may win something big, but is Pirlo really the long-term solution? Maybe he's a filler for somebody else, or waiting for the availability of the so-called highly desired manager like a Pep Guardiola.
So why hire him then? Just wait. I mean, like, what else you going to do? The next thing up is pre-season. So all you do is just wait, and then you hire somebody. They said, what's in Potch? Was supposed to come in or whatever. So why rush and hire somebody now? Why not just do a complete and vigorous selection process? If that's what you're going to want. But I just don't get it. I would not want an intern to come perform my surgery. It just don't make no sense to me. It's just madness. It's just madness to me.
Junior, is madness to come on? Your thoughts?
No, it is madness only because we know what a coach does. Now, Juventus leadership, they are obviously telling everybody that the team just need to be motivated. You have what it takes to win the Champions League. You just need somebody that everybody look up to, everybody respect. You go out there and play your hardest. Nobody can beat you if you just play your best football. Now, you might have some people get up and say, well, that's common sense. No, the hell it's not. Because we see coaches go out there and out. We just saw Zidane get out-coached by Pep Guardiola with the better team. Zidane had the better team. No, Junior. He did defensive errors cost Real Madrid the game. Not out-coach. But disagree with that one there. All right. But look at it this way. And this is one argument that I have for Sarri. In all of these games, European games, post-pandemic, I could be wrong, but none of the ties were turned around. None of the teams went into their tie winning and came out losing. There is something there for that.
Yeah, but the Juventus wasn't losing the tie. They were 1-1 coming. Oh, they were losing 1-0 to Lyon. They were losing 1-0, but there was an expectation, Junior, that Juventus should see past Lyon. And yes, come on, we might be underrepresenting Lyon and dissing Lyon, but I mean, Juventus is supposed to be big side. Come on.
I see El Pistolero saying Pirlo is cheaper.
Yes, he's also cheaper.
Might be.
Yeah, go ahead, come on.
Might be. No, I said you might be right. Maybe it's cheaper. Because I think they still have to pay 20 million euro. So maybe really it's cheaper.
Yeah, I mean he's a cheaper player, but I personally believe and I just seen other reports coming out throughout the years that there was already some discontent at Juventus with Maurizio Sarri. I think Gabriel Marcotti of ESPN has been reporting, covers the Italian game heavily, has been speaking heavily on this, that, Maurizio Sarri's, the expectation of the style of football and didn't materialize. And ultimately, part of it is not Maurizio Sarri's fault because he wasn't necessarily given the players that to fit his system ideally. Andrea Pirlo, I mean, what do you guys expect with this hire going forward? Does he find lightning in a bottle like Zidane? Because the word is that Zidane is not a great manager, but somehow he was able to go in at Real Madrid and right the ship and made them winners, not just La Liga winner, but Champions League winner.
But look at this too. So Zidane went in and he had a full complement of good players, right?
Yeah.
Sarri had Higuain. So it's like I don't. He had to struggle. When you look at it, I mean, the good. You really have the great players. Just without like where Zidane have. You can count on your hands all the players that Zidane can say, okay then, X's and O's and whatever. But to me, sorry, I have to tell Higuain what to do because he is a complete idiot. No wonder Messi no want him play for Argentina. So I just think it's two different complements of players and two different styles.
Okay.
Sarri's style is old school way versus Zidane will be a little bit more flexible and will adjust. Sarri don't want to adjust. And I guess the complement of players when have just never really fit in style.
Yeah.
If that's the case then we can make an argument for that. But you're going to bring in Pirlo, who is, I mean, and as GB says, players have to learn, coaches have to learn to start somewhere, which I understand. But if you want to win Champions League, is this really a gamble that you want to take?
Yeah, and I mean, time will tell how this pans out. But in just to kind of put a bow on this and quickly, Zidane at Real Madrid had to deal with big egos. He had to take care of this Gareth Bale decision and subsequently made this team into something successful. Maybe Andrea Pirlo can summon the same sort of intestinal fortitude and get the best out of this Juventus team. The question I also want to ask before we move on, what does this say about Mauricio Pochettino, the high-end coach who's supposed to be out there waiting for one of these big jobs? Junior, he's your boy. I mean, are you surprised that he wasn't given this position?
Benton, before we talk about Pochettino, make Allegri get a job first. No? I mean, Pochettino is my boy, but better coaches are out there waiting. So they kick the tires.
Well, we didn't expect Allegri to go back at Juventus, right? Pochettino is supposed to be this high-end coach that's waiting for one of these big jobs, whether it's at Juve or Barcelona. But it doesn't seem like he wasn't even considered. I mean, Andrea Pirlo got the U23 jobs 8 days ago, haven't coached, and then subsequently was promoted to the senior job. I mean, Junior, what does that say about Pochettino? Come on. Or if anything.
It's cheap. As GB Bang says on YouTube, he says, we'll have to wait and see. I don't agree with the Pirlo appointment, but the board must see something. Which, as who said it on Facebook, said maybe it's cheaper. So, I mean, maybe this is a test one. We don't even know. The board makes some decisions sometimes that we scratch our heads, and players always complain that the board don't know what they're doing. They don't know what's going on the field. They just make decisions based on dollar signs. So let's just see if this is one of those decisions. You already have him there under contract. You're already paying him. You just move him up. And they were talking about Buffon coming up to assist him. So, I mean, like, I don't even know. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think former teammate Gennaro Gattuso said that the honeymoon this is over, to paraphrase, or this is not like being a player. All right, we'll see how Pirlo goes about it as manager of Juventus. We'll follow that. Moving on from the Juventus hiring Andrea Pirlo and sacking of Mauricio Sarri, who is now apparently word is being considered for the Roma job, but we'll see if he actually gets. He's a good enough manager that he will get another coaching job somewhere. He's probably a mid-table or mid-tier manager thereabout, in my opinion. To Champions League, aka Champion Football. Come on, the final 8 is set. Chelsea gone home after the beating. But the final 8 tournament will take place in Lisbon, Portugal, and the Europa League tournament will take place in cities across Germany. Your thoughts on this Elite 8 tournament, or this Final 8 tournament? It's a one-off game. The winner moves on. The loser go home. We have quite a few matches coming down, and we'll just talk about your thoughts on the second leg and now the subsequent expectation for this tournament.
I just think Barcelona and Bayern, that's going to be the killer. I think they're two good teams, and where Bayern likes to press, Barcelona is vulnerable at the back. So it's really going to be interesting. I like Leon's style of play, but Man City have them defensive errors, but Leon is also not a complete team. And I do see Atletico Madrid winning because they have Diego Costa back. Our boy Morata is still okay sometimes and show up. So, it's going to be interesting, but I do think Atletico Madrid will pull it out. I'm not sure about Man City and Leon, as I said, on the Barcelona and Bayern. I can't call a winner. But the PSG and the Atalanta game is one of those games that you are hoping for a high-scoring game, and it might just come out to be 5 red cards on each side. But I don't know. I can't call a winner for that. But that's also going to be an interesting game. So it's I'm glad Chelsea gone home. So Frank Lampard now come with him boring football, so we can actually watch some free-flowing football in the Champions League final.
Yeah, some mouth-watering matches coming down the pipe, Junior. Before we try to get your thoughts on the game and try to predict these games quickly, the tournament is played in Portugal. The players will be tested 2 to 3 days before they leave their home country. Players will also be tested the day before each match. And just to reiterate, it's a single elimination game. You win and you move on, or you lose or you go home. The matches are Atalanta versus PSG on Tuesday or Wednesday. It kicks off August 12th. Then we have RB Leipzig versus Atletico Madrid, Barcelona versus Bayern Munich, Man City versus Lyon. Atletico Madrid already have 2 players tested positive in the pre-screen, so we'll see how that will affect their departure and their entire makeup as they go into this tournament. Junior, your thoughts on this game, this Elite 8 or the Final 8 of the Champions League, and what do you expect?
I expect the lucky team to win. That's all. It's going to be a lot of luck. I don't think we can get any. We can. I'm big up Jason Frame. Jason Frame said, "Come on, hug up licks, hug up your licks." Here, come on. Jason Frame beating about Chelsea. Let's make it know that. But I honestly, I cannot sit here and tell you who I expect to win. I would not be surprised if Bayern Munich win. But I just think PSG, I can make an argument for all the teams, but I'm tipping my hat towards Bayern and watch Bayern get kicked out.
Yeah. So two big injury situation that's sitting out here. Kylian Mbappe, we're not sure, is not completely definitive if he will be out of this tournament. And secondly, Lionel Messi got kicked in the back of the leg by Koulibaly in the game yesterday. Will Lionel Messi be available? And do we expect Kylian Mbappe to be available? Come on.
Yeah, Mbappe's name is actually on the list to go to Lisbon. So they
he's playing.
I think I'm sorry?
There's a report out saying that he's on his way to making his return against Atalanta.
Okay, so they expect it.
Yeah, this reason he's okay. You have to tape up Messi foot. Messi have to play up on one leg for not show up. So I don't see those 2 star players not being in the final 8.
Yeah, and El Pistolero says Mbappe is already in training. All right, just to pick these games, Atalanta, probably the hottest or Cinderella story in Italy. They kind of taper off at the end. Atalanta versus PSG. Who do you guys have in this game? Come on, Junior.
You can't pick. Because remember, Atalanta scores a score often in the league. They must have scored a goal and so I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Junior?
I don't want PSG, but I don't know. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be yellow cards flying left, right, and center because they're both 2 physical teams. So, you know what? Let me get PSG the edge. And
just to remind our listeners, Atalanta have kind of come off the boil in the last few games. Maybe they were preparing for Champions League. They've lost to Inter on Saturday 2-0. They also lost to Parma in Syria. So maybe they've ran into a wall. So you're going with PSG. Come on, Junior.
Neymar have something to prove. So I'm picking PSG.
You're going PSG. Next game, RB Leipzig versus Atletico Madrid. Your thoughts? Who do you have? Is it all about Atletico Madrid?
Who you picking?
Huh?
Who you picking? PSG versus Atlanta.
Oh, I want my fancy ball to win the Champions League. There is bottom line. I need one of these two teams to win the Champions League. Atletico Madrid first or PSG.
So do you hear that?
Yeah. I mean, I have some sympathy for Neymar. I really have some sympathy for Neymar. So it'd be nice if he can find a way to win this Champions League. And ultimately, it would be nice.
Why?
Because he went.
Why?
Here is why. Because he went to PSG to win. He left from under Messi's government to try to win, and now he's trying to win, and I respect that. Now there's off the field antics and all the stuff that has happened and on the field antics, but hopefully he can rise to the level in this tournament and win this for PSG. They are my first choice to try to win this tournament. And Atletico Madrid, I would love to see Atletico Madrid. They've been to the final a couple times. Their team has been raided by the enemies, Barcelona pillaging their team, taking Griezmann off. So it'd be nice if Cholo can find a way for Atletico Madrid to win this title.
GB Bang is asking Atalanta to the semis. He says they have been playing some of the best games all season. I agree, GB Bang. They have been. They've been scoring and scoring well. So it's going to be interesting.
So can we do this then? Everybody that's watching right now on Facebook, on YouTube, in the games, we are making our predictions. I want you guys real quick, put who you think is going to win. So we just talked about PSG versus Atalanta. Let us know who you think is going to win. Put your name on it right now. Who you guys think will win? Comment that.
Yeah, RB Leipzig versus Atletico Madrid. It's just Atletico Madrid game. Come on.
Yeah, I think so. Morata, so inconsistent, but he can score. And then you have the monster truck, Diego. So I do think they'll do well. I think they'll win.
Junior, can RB Timo Werner and RB Leipzig find a way to win this game?
Yeah, who? Timo Werner? Timo Werner have his heart set in London. No. Every time he touches the ball, Lampard is going to be wincing. No.
All right, in the big match of the Elite Eight, the big match of this eight teams tournament, Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. Junior.
I don't even know why these Barca fans are asking question. Listen to me. Barca cannot handle speed. Barca cannot handle Lewandowski. It's over. Mark my words. At least 4 going in Barcelona.
Come on. How does Barca win this game? Can they? Big up El Pistolero. El Pistolero says he has Barca, Man City, PSG, and Atletico Madrid in the semi-final. Come on. How can Barca win this game against Bayern Munich? And does Felipe Coutinho have a role to play here?
Listen, Messi will have to have an out-of-world game to really put. The backline for Barcelona is so slow. So I don't know how they're going to manage. And Bayern have some fast young players. Still, I think they're saying that Alphonso Davies have a little injury. So if Bayern's fast players are injured and they're not playing, then Barcelona might have a chance. But I think Bayern is going to take this unless Messi have an extraordinary game.
And what is new? It's Barcelona hinges on Lionel Messi, and this is the Lionel Messi who got kicked in the back of the heel by Calabria. So, but the Bayern Munich is Sergio Gnabry and Thiago Alcantara and Bayern Munich. And Lewandowski should be pole position to win this game. On Friday.
BB Bang is saying Atalanta, Madrid, Man City, and Bayern. Who is predicting? What are you drinking and smoking, JB Bang? Man City versus Bayern final.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
Messi plays on the right wing. Alphonso Davies plays left back. Even if Alphonso Davies' 5 toes on his right foot are broken, he is still faster than Messi right now. Put it this way, Messi will not be embarrassing Boateng this time around. And rest assured, Jerome Boateng remembers the last time Messi embarrassed him and left him on his backside. And he's looking at Alphonso Davies and said, please don't make Messi cut in on me at this time. It's not happening, come on.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, go ahead, come on.
But Junior, what does speed have to do with Messi's technical ability? I calling it no. I call in 2 piles and 2 nutmeg.
That's some sensitive fellow, man.
All right, come on. I don't care how many piles or nothing, meg or whatever, or salad one go on. If Barcelona can find a way to win the game, that's a pile. A typical Jamaican fan showing off a pile and salad rather than victories. Next game, Lyon versus Man City. Well, before we go to that, if El Pistolero says Coutinho versus Lyon, if Coutinho plays, he will prove himself versus Barcelona. Isn't that like the comedy of the day? Do you think Coutinho starts, or I mean, does he have any influence in this game?
Who?
Coutinho, Felipe Coutinho.
Stop it. Just stop. What am I gonna do? I think it's supposed to be hot. Is he going to be the extra water boy? What is he?
Oh my God! In the transfer news, we'll talk about players that may be moving in a little bit and so forth. All right, Man City versus Lyon. Lyon was impressive. Can they do it again? Can they replicate what they did against Juventus?
I think they can. I think they can. They have nothing to lose. I think they are really the complete ace. I think they're the underdog. I don't think they don't have anything to lose. So I do think that they can show up.
Junior, big up Jason Frame. Jason Frame celebrating Arsenal's victory. Big up from last week, the man is still a celebrate. Big up yourself, Jason Frame. As Jason Frame said, PSG. It says PSG, Madrid, Bayern, and City is his pick. Atletico Madrid. Junior, Lyon versus Man City. Your thoughts, Junior?
Pep is going to show his team the tape of Lyon versus Juventus, and we know what's going to happen. So, no, Man City win easy.
Pep Guardiola has spoken, kind of confidently said this is their time, to paraphrase, as in trying to win this Champions League. Do they win? Do you see somehow that they can win this tournament with that shambolic defending back there?
In get defenders?
Yeah.
In get defenders after the speech? Is Otamendi still going to be on the pitch? I mean, like, what must I say?
Yeah. All right. Stepping away from Champions League games start on the 8th, and they run all the way to the 5th. Yeah.
GB Bank says, on Coutinho only getting 5 minutes tops. He also said, in that case, it's not about pace. Messi have the best advantage. It's called low center of gravity, my boss. I guess he hasn't seen Alphonso Davies play. You think Alphonso Davies can get lower than Messi? Come on now. GB Bank says Atlanta, Madrid, Man City, and Bayern. Come on, I already said that. Zabir Taylor, first you're going to Banner SC just to get a feel of what German football is like. Then we'll later go trial at Bayer Leverkusen, a Jamaican girl. Is that you, Zabir? I'm curious to know, because I'm watching that conversation. Are you the one trying out, or are you referencing?
No. He's saying that 2 U17 players, they're gone already. They left.
Okay.
All right, we're pushing up against the clock. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning of the show, so we'll continue to try to hit some of the major news in the world of football and get through it. Europa League, aka beverage football. Yo, Junior, Manchester United versus Copenhagen, Inter Milan versus Bayern Leverkusen, Shakhtar versus Basel, Junior, and come on, Wolves versus Sevilla. who do you guys have to make it out of this group of 8 in terms of Europa League?
I have Copenhagen.
Go on, Junior.
Junior said he has Copenhagen doing what, Junior?
Winning.
Against Manchester United.
Junior, come on, man.
No, they're winning a first-class ticket back to wherever them come.
Okay, Junior.
Yo, you see what I have behind me right here? Come on, guys. I don't care about the other teams. I just can't wait for Man U play against Bayern or Inter. Inter is there? No. Bayern.
Yes, Inter is there.
Don't worry about Inter neither.
So Manchester United the winner of the Manchester United versus Copenhagen game will play the winner of Wolves versus Sevilla in the semi-final, whereas Inter Milan versus Bayern Leverkusen will play the winner of Shakhtar Donetsk versus Basel. Come on, your thoughts on this, and who do you see making it out of this? And more importantly, does Leon Bailey see minutes in the game tomorrow against Inter Milan?
Of course, Leon will see minutes. Not going to start because for some reason coach think Diaby, even though they didn't score, but for some reason coach think that he's a starter over Bailey. But Bailey will go on. It's too important of a game not to go on. But I do see Inter beating them, not consistent enough. Man United is going to be Copenhagen because they find their form. They round the corner, they find their form, they're playing well. I think Shakhtar might be, but we're not sure. That game, they're kind of iffy because they're two inconsistent teams, and we don't have enough firepower to say one or the other. So that's a very tight one. And this is where I see Wolves losing because I don't think they're good enough to beat Sevilla.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. The Europa League matches will kick off tomorrow with 2 games. Europa League games to play tomorrow with Manchester United versus Copenhagen, Inter Milan versus Bayern Leverkusen. And then on Tuesday, Shakhtar versus Basel and Sevilla versus Roma. Doubleheader of Europa League matches, and then the semi-final games will be on the weekend. All right, stepping away from Europa League. So, Junior, before we step away from Europa League, Manchester United, do you think your team will win this tournament?
Well, on joke aside, no. I think because the pressure of qualifying for Champions League is now off their shoulder. One will think that they will play free, but I think they have their eyes on performing well in Premier League next year. So I just think the bigger teams are going to be thinking, I'm talking about the Inters, the Man U's, they're going to be thinking that in a couple of weeks their season starts, and I think that's going to see some surprise. I really don't. As a Man U fan, I would love to say it, but I don't see them winning.
Okay. El Pistolero says Europe doing everything for Manchester United to be in the finals. Put them on the weaker bracket. Wow, them bad my Manchester United. But Inter Milan versus Bayer Leverkusen should be an interesting game, according to El Pistolero. We'll see how Inter Milan goes about that. And so those young wingers of Leverkusen and Kai Havertz. You know what? Bayer Leverkusen could find a way to win this game. Let's see. Stepping away from Europa League football to some of the major news in the world of football. IFAB, International Football Association Board, governing body for the rules of the game, says that 5 subs no longer will be available. Come on, and Junior, you guys agree with this decision? Also, red card for any players that deliberately coughs on a player or an official. Your thoughts?
I am okay with the 5 subs going back to 3. It was always 3. We kind of miss it. I think it takes away the momentum, kind of give you a completely new team sometimes, and sometimes work out to the best for that team. So I'm okay with the 3 subs. Second of all, spitting from Everton should have been a red card offense. So this spitting now because of Corona, I don't think it is late, it's ridiculous, and this should have been a rule. So I am fine with these 2 new changes that they've implemented.
Junior, you mentioned that the five rules. I think in a conversation in the middle of the week as we prep for the show, you mentioned the five subs was beneficial or advantageous to the bigger teams. You happy to see it go?
Yeah, I'm happy to see. Well, no, since I'm a fan of a bigger team, I should not be happy to see it. But it is what it is. Fine. But yeah, I'm honestly I'm happy because you can change half your outfield players in a game. That is ridiculous if you have a very strong bench against a team that plans and does all their best to prepare but don't have the strength like you. I just think it's an unnecessary advantage.
You know, El Pistolero brought up an interesting point. He said the five sub he thinks was helpful to younger players in terms of getting onto that field. Your thoughts on that?
Players? No, El Pistolero, no. It's more beneficial to the older players that you can put a game to bed early and you can come off and rest for the game 3 days, 4 days from now. So the younger players them that can probably recover faster, play the whole 90 while your 5 over 30 ballers can come off and the game done. That's the benefit. The younger players now.
Yeah, he was saying about getting some playing time. Come on, do you have any thoughts on that in terms of that five sub being maybe beneficial for the younger players to get some time?
Yes, that can be true. That's true. And also, helps the game. I guess the reason why they do it is because the games were coming so quick. So they wanted a break in between, wanted people to rest. Trying not to get people injured. So now that we're back on regular schedule, I do think that the 3 subs are okay. And yes, the 5 subs to help young players or whatever, but I don't think the Premier League is something that, is to be used to try. Let them go play academy game.
Yeah.
We want to see the big, strong, fast, and gifted players them out there.
Before we discuss some news in our own backyard, just want to remind you we had some technical difficulties at the beginning of the show, so we're trying to hit our major news in the world of football this week. Transfer news: Nathan Atke Jr. moved on from Bournemouth, somewhere in the vicinity of £42 million or dollars. I don't know the exact figure. Your thoughts on that transfer? Also want to get your thoughts on a potential move for Willian to Arsenal, has been reported by multiple sources or multiple media houses. Junior, your thoughts on the Nathan Atke move to Man City, and ultimately if Willian does go to Arsenal?
Both are common sense to me. Both make sense. Man City lacks defenders. Nathan Atke just got is highly coveted for the last 2 years. Everybody wonder why Chelsea let him go. And Bournemouth just got relegated. You are not going to get a higher stock in that player if you are Bournemouth. So it just makes sense. Willian also makes sense because Arteta is making Man City Arsenal, our Man City Arsenal division, our London edition of Man City. So bringing in a baller that can play on the wing, similar to how Pep has his wingers deployed, and he can also help to groom the younger players at Arsenal, because I'm telling you, Arsenal is going to be a very good team if they hold the fort, and I think Willian can play a very important role in transitioning these younger players.
And come on, Willian is saying have pretty much put out a press release of his farewell. It's not official yet, so this has all just been reported. But your thoughts on this imminent potentially transfer of Willian to Arsenal or wherever he may end up, but and your thoughts on the Atke move?
Chelsea always lose out on some money. So, they didn't wait. Atke, they kept sending him on loan. He's a good young defender, but I've seen players turn him inside out. I've seen Giroud flip him over. I've seen him try to keep up with Raheem Sterling. So he's not the finished product. I guess Pep likes projects, so I do think that Atke is one of Pep's projects. And he can't work down Otamendi, so let's not even, talk about that. For Willian, we always knew that Willian would not stay under Frank Lampard. If you notice, Frank Lampard, he's more into the academy and young players, and I think Willian just did not fit into Lampard's plan. So, he was a good player for us. He has won some very important games. He messed up some important games as well. So I wish, Willian the best. If he got Arsenal, I wish him all the best, except when he play against Chelsea.
Is it? I just want to quickly get your thoughts on this, Junior and Cabon. Is it any concern to you guys that Arsenal, if they end up with Willian, maybe looking to commit 3 years to a 31-year-old player who's been inconsistent sometimes, or probably a lot of the time, for this project?
It's a good. Willian can be a good asset if used properly. I think he's going to be cheap. GB Bang is saying that Willian already told Chelsea players he's leaving. He'll be going to Arsenal for 100K a week. Whoa, that's a lot of money still, but anyway, 100K a week deal for 3 years.
Oh my God! Why Arsenal take up other people what left?
Willian is a good player. He has the speed, even at his age, he still has the speed, and he has the experience. And maybe that's what Arteta wants. He wants some experience out there on the wing. So I think he's a good pickup. 3 years still long. I wish I had his agent, because that sounds like highway robbery to me.
Yeah,
it's not my business. It's Arsenal England.
I think it's highway robbery. Before we move away from transfer news, I want to ask you, as we start transfer season, start kicking into gear. I want to ask you and Junior, what transfer are you guys would love to see? What player or players that you're looking forward to see move on? I mean, we know Sanchez has made his move to Inter Milan permanent, but what transfer that you're looking forward to see if it does happen this window?
They've said Stone is being looked at by Oliver Lampard wants our company back, Them say Frank Lampard is looking at Stone. So
to do what?
That's a transfer I would like to see in the back.
To do what? To defend?
Yes, to defend.
And again, why?
Everybody that's listening right now, tell us who will be your ideal transfer. El Pistolero is saying Thiago to Liverpool. So who will be your ideal transfer?
And Junior, we know that you're gaga over for Jadon Sancho. What's the update? I think last week I heard that deal was supposed to be
bigger transfer than Jadon Sancho.
I thought last week that deal was supposed to be over with Jadon Sancho.
That's old news. I have a bigger transfer, a bigger ideal transfer. Get Ed Woodward the hell out of a club. Get him out. Run him out. Transfer him. Send him. Yo, I see people talking about Mount Pleasant and I see people talking about Phoenix Academy. Somewhere in Jamaica, somebody. I wouldn't even say somewhere. I don't know. Where can Ed Woodward go? Just go somewhere, man. Come out of a club.
And as we move to get ready to discuss football in our backyard, regarding Jadon Sancho, come on and Junior, Borussia Dortmund has set a deadline of August 10th for this deal to conclude, at least, things be agreed. Do you guys see him ending up at Manchester United? Come on.
Yeah, he wants to go. The player has said he wants to go, and I do think that he would be a good fit, and the money would be right. But what I would love Coutinho to Chelsea. That's what I would like.
Okay, why? Come on. Why would Barcelona is trying to offload Felipe Coutinho? There's rumors that Barcelona is looking to offload him for $9 million. How the mighty have fallen per year. But Felipe Coutinho have asked Barcelona to delay making any discussion with any team until after the Champions League, which concludes on August 23rd. You would like to see Chelsea pick up Coutinho. Why? Come on.
I think that he needs a fresh start. And I think he needs a coach who believes in him, and I think he has enough to offer. You know, Chelsea is lacking on a lot of places on the pitch, and I do think Coutinho would be a good fit. I mean, the price is right. Look at that. I mean, 9 million. I could buy a house in a not so affluential area for 9 million. I mean, I think it's a good deal, a good pickup, and I think he has something to prove, and he will give 110% on the pitch. So I think them players, they need to get players with chip on their shoulders.
Coutinho doesn't have any chip on his shoulder. Come on,
Yeah,
that's go easy. Yeah, Junior.
No, what do you mean? That was up to 9 million. Come on, no. Where's the Junior?
I cannot see Timo Werner and Coutinho playing together. And Tim El Pistolero said if Coutinho goes to Chelsea, Timo would score a pile of goals. Good luck. I want to respond to a comment. GB Bank says, Junior, it's not Ed Woodward dealing the Sancho transfer. It's an independent group. GB, they came out, Dortmund came out and said, we want, I think it's 130 million for the player. They are willing to take installments. Them said they would take 70 up front, 30 next year, 20 next year, and whatever. There is no negotiation. There's nothing there. They put it out there. The Ballas want to leave. Here's his price. We are willing to take installments. If Manchester United need to hire a third-party group to go and sign the damn paper, that makes it even worse for Ed Woodward to leave. What is your purpose there? They are going to, that's the money they're going to take. They put it out there from last week. So, come on, man.
Yeah, don't set up junior blood pressure but it's typical of Manchester United, Ed Woodward, for delaying or struggling to conclude the deal. They will eventually get their player, but it's just a drawn-out process. Jason Frame says that, and Jason Frame says, and that place would be Arsenal for Coutinho. Felipe Coutinho is also being linked with a move to Arsenal, so who knows? Maybe they should go for Coutinho rather than Willian. Let's see.
Jason Frame, Arsenal plays 4-3-3. Where are you going to play Coutinho? Is he going to run back?
I think they're saying Lacazette might leave Arsenal.
And yes, there's been a report that Lacazette may move on from Arsenal to Atletico Madrid, but we'll see. So transfer news is hotting up. Let's segue to football in our own backyard and discuss some big news in Jamaican football. Yawd Ballas timing us. Junior Fleming continue run hot and non-stop goal. Come on, what's the update on Yawd Ballas?
So we have to start out with Junior Fleming, the JC Old Boy star football player. Junior has had some issues, missed a career up and down, injuries, moving from clubs. And I think he has found a home in Phoenix, which is not supposed to be there much longer based on how he's playing. Last night I watched Junior score 3 goals and had a hand in 2 assists. His play has evolved, his decision-making has evolved, and he stopped drop a ground like Sterling all the time. So Fleming has 7 goals in 7 appearances, and I think he has 2 or 3 assists because he's doing so well. They wrote up in the USL Championship that Junior Fleming is the best player in USL at the moment. So we can talk about it being Bush League, but for Junior to be recognized as one of the best players in the league right now is an accomplishment for a young man who had problems in Tampa and had problems in New York. So he's doing really, really well, and I'm really happy for Junior. So the hat trick or whatever with him. Romeo Park, so they were playing against Romeo Park, New Mexico last night. So Phoenix beat New Mexico 5-2. Romeo Park started the goal scoring spree by scoring a fantastic header, but they lost 5-2, as I must say. Nico Brecht is still doing well. He had 2 goals in his last game that he played. He's doing very, very well, as I must say. Hopefully he'll get a call up in the camp. Speedy Williams is still doing well, still scoring for Louisville. Shamar Nicholson played 90 minutes in his team's 1-0 victory because, the Belgium league start back. He looked like he eat too much food. Shamar, and he forgot the gym. But he had a good game. Darren Matak, who is 29 years old, the news out of Turkey is that two clubs in the Turkish Super League, they made offers for him. I think Junior is still on the books for FC Cincinnati, and I don't see why FC Cincinnati would not let Junior go, because not Junior, Matak, because he's really not in their plans. So if the two teams that I hear that wants Matak, they finished 11th and 15th in the league last year. So getting a goal scorer would actually improve their chances to move up. So fingers crossed. Hopefully it works out for Darren, so Darren can go and make some money. So that's my ball talk.
Yeah, so that's Yawd Ballas segment. As we push up against the clock, Mount Pleasant, I want to get your thoughts on it. Mount Pleasant seems to be doing some good work as they hire Willie Downs to run their youth system. Want to get your thoughts on that. Come on, and Junior, Willie Downs have a wealth of experience from the English game. And of course, Teagat Davis also got his contract extended. Your thoughts, Junior, and come on.
It can't be a bad thing to bring in someone with a lot of knowledge, right? And tons of experience. He can recognize talent. He can hone the talent. He can improve the talent. And then you also need somebody with connections. Zabir Taylor, is on YouTube. We were talking about the opportunities and about scouts, and we've talked about it all the time. You don't find scouts flying to Jamaica to watch RSPL. 876 Gamers is asking, that we compare RSPL with USL or MLS in terms of quality. I think we can touch on that next week, but for Mount Pleasant to change the mold, to bring in somebody, to help their crop of young players who will eventually get an opportunity to go overseas, is only good for the local game. You can't look at it at any other way. It's just something that's good. And I think if other teams follow the model of Mount Pleasant, I think Jamaican football will improve drastically.
Junior, your thoughts?
I agree 100% with Come On, and we had the Jamaican Football Summit last week, and shameless plug, look out for the next one coming up real soon. But we sit down and talk about infrastructure that is needed. We sit down and talk about organization that is needed. So when we see a team that seemingly is going down that road, we have to big them up. With Mount Pleasant, they had the coaching carousel last year, and they seem to settle down on their coach. Now they are settling down on a developmental system. Like Camon says, if this works, then other teams will start to emulate. If this works, then money will come into the other teams, because we cannot overlook the fact that money is being spent on Mount Pleasant. We know them have money, we know that, but the money is being invested. So if this experiment works, I think RSPL will start to close the gaps. And I'm giving a sneak preview to my answer with which league is better, but RSPL will close the gaps on USL. We haven't talked about MLS. So
yeah, go ahead, Jonah.
Yeah. So I think this is an experiment that is needed, and we all as RSPL fans need to sit down and cheer on Mount Pleasant, regardless of who we support. We need this experiment to work so big money investors can come in and say, let me try to build another Mount Pleasant. So.
Yeah, we're proud of what Mount Pleasant is doing in terms of building from the ground up, investing in the next generation, because I think Mount Pleasant's ultimate goal is not necessarily they want to try to dominate the landscape of Jamaican football. They want to try to win the RSPL, but not just win it 1 year, but win it for a few years. But their prize, I think what they were looking at is trying to really make some serious inroads in CONCACAF Champions League. That's where some of the money, some of the return on that investment will come in. So, go on, do you think, Mount Pleasant? Your thoughts on Teague Davis' contract as a push up against it being extended? Good move, right?
He deserved it. I think, it's a good move. There should be Chelsea and change coaches often. And we talk about it already. We want consistency. You have somebody who have the vision that you have. You have a coach as good as Tigat. He's loved by the players. He's loved by the community. I mean, why would you bring somebody else to take over? So I do think that it's a good thing for him. Keep him. Build a program from within.
Yeah, build it from within. In terms of youth football, it says they're still trying to, cases of coronavirus have gone up in the last 24 to 48 hours or even this week in Jamaica. So youth football, the landscape of youth football is still, we're not clear exactly on when the restart date is still trying to have some sort of youth football this year, pending approval by all the health pending approval by all the necessary regulatory bodies. Junior, come on. It's all about, can the coronavirus pandemic allows for this to happen in this climate, right?
I mean, yeah, you can't. It's not like you can say we're gonna have Premier League and don't have no fans. And the same thing with schoolboy. We not have them the kind of discipline there. So if that's how you're going to do it, to keep the people keep them safe from themselves, you just have to push it back a little bit. We'll see. Right now, Andrew's so upset. I think he want to lock back the border. So it's going to be a minute, if any football play this year.
Yeah.
Big up 876 gamers. I think it's time we start playing some RSPL and FIFA online, because that's the closest we're going to get to football this year in Jamaica, unfortunately. But I agree with Camon. You cannot put schoolboys in a bubble like what they see the American markets are doing. You cannot put RSPL players in a bubble because you don't have the financial security to support them. So you forget about the fans going to the game. You cannot even have the players playing amongst themselves because you don't know who's going to have COVID. The infrastructure is just not there. So unfortunately, it might be best to get rid of the virus first before play football in our nation, which is kind of sad to say.
Yeah. It's said that they haven't gotten written permission in order to restart the tournament. That's the final thing from my end regarding Jamaican football. There are other things that we could touch, but we're pushing them against the clock. Before we go, though, or wrap up the show, I just quickly want to get your thoughts on this MLS is Back tournament with Orlando City versus Portland Timbers. Quickly, come on, Anjuna, your thoughts. Who do you think will win it, and the potential restart that's set of the MLS regular season that's set for August 12th?
I think Nani and his team will beat Portland Timbers.
Okay, so Orlando City will win. Junior, your thoughts on this MLS is Back tournament and the potential restart 24 hours later of the regular season with fans apparently in selected markets, right?
But Orlando beat the big bad LA team, so of course they should win. I mean, they have the mojo going.
Yeah.
I think as for restarting MLS, what's his name? Dan Garber.
Yeah, Dan Garber, commissioner of the MLS.
Good. I wish you all the best, because God go with you in your league if somebody cough in the stands and the whole stands catch cold.
Yeah.
God go with you in your league.
Yeah. So come on, you have any thoughts on this proposal? They're trying to keep games in regional areas. Teams in the same region play against each other. The Canadian teams, 3 Canadian teams, their schedule is kind of thin at the moment because they don't really have many teams in their regions to play. Your thoughts on this potential restart date of August 12th and the proposal by MLS?
I don't think it's feasible. New York. I just don't think New York, LA, the numbers are still not at a level where fans should be able to go to the games. I know last night there was like, I think from last week to yesterday, 4 USL games were canceled because people, they did the test and they came back positive for COVID. So it's not controlled. And I know, for example, DC United, I don't know what happened because our mayor is saying that you still can't have anybody congregating because for my job, we can't go back to work until next year. So I think they're putting out feelers, and I think because the pushback from the fans that I've been seeing on Twitter is that nobody wants to risk to go to games. Just open up the TV. I mean, like I know for DC, some games are blacked out when they're playing. Just open it up. Let people watch the games on TV and just be safe. It's 5,000 or 10,000 people who are going to be in a distance. It's really not going to be enough for you to see a revenue stream like that. And you're putting people's life at risk. So I don't think Don Garber thought this through, and I don't think that he'll stick to that plan.
Yeah, it's
big up.
Yeah, go ahead,
big up GB Bank. I just gotta say this real quick. GB Bank said that we need better infrastructure before we can even compare ourselves with USL. He's talking about the RSPL, and commercially we need to improve our leagues. And this is going to speak to your heart. Can you imagine if RSPL is getting the support like the schoolboy football is getting?
Yeah.
GB, every day I ask the same question. Every day. But then we talk about it, and GB, we have to talk about this next week again. You can't pay players $30,000 and expect that they're going to be 100% committed. You don't have the field, you don't have the facilities, they not get the salary, you not get the officials, but we cannot improve. So we have to talk about this again. Every week we'll beat the drum, and I agree, scrap the league until we're in the clear with the virus. I agree with you 100%, GB.
Jason Frame says Mount Pleasant Endgame is exporting homegrown talent, and El Pistolero said, and that's brilliant, Jason. And regarding the MLS is back tournament, El Pistolero says Nani is playing out of his skin for Orlando, having a very good tournament, playing a leadership role. We want to apologize to the fans for the technical difficulties at the beginning of the show, hence the reason why we're running late. Come on, and Junior, that is it from my end. Do you guys have anything else to add before we wrap up?
Yes, and this is why Nani will win. El Pistolero, Portland has given up a PK in all their games. Every single one of them games, them give up a PK. Nani to the rescue.
Yeah, the Portland been giving it. Junior, do you have any final statement before we wrap it up?
Look out for the next Jamaican music. The Jamaican Football Summit coming up.
Did you say next Jamaican movie?
I said music. You want some music. So look out for the next Jamaican Football Summit coming up. Last week we got some great reviews. So look out for the next one coming up. And next week, you want to get him the lineup for the next week right now, Benton?
Don't give him a lineup. Don't give him a lineup, Junior. All right, so football lovers, champion football return this week. Champions League football return. Big game, Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. Next Sunday we'll review that game, and of course we'll see what happened to Flux in Manchester United as they try to win the Europa League to guarantee them winning a trophy this year. Football lovers, you can follow us on social media. Link with us at Ball Chat Podcast on Instagram, Ball Chat 1 on Twitter, Ball Chat on Facebook. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. The audio version of the show will be available on iTunes, Twitter, Google Podcasts, or wherever and a podcast. Junior, come on. I hit that and I'm going on the road now.
Come on, fix your bill. Ricardo, big up yourself. Next week.
Come on in for PR video bill.
Yeah. Later.